This podcast is part of Another Happy Studios,
the home of podcasts with passion.
Hello and welcome once again to Talking Pictures Podcast. I'm your host David and joined with me as always my co-host Brian. Brian, how are you today?
So what are we doing? Are we talking about this having already watched Spider-Man Brand New Day, or have we travelled to the past before it came out, before ever watching it, and watched this Spider-Noir and then recorded it and released it now?
Welcome to the final week of our Marvel August, where we'll be talking about Spider-Noir. We'll be talking about Spider-Noir as our last thing before we've even seen Spider-Man, as we have done with all of our entries except for Spider-Man. Spider-Man is the last thing that we'll be seeing, but we'll release it third. We're all over the place with this.
Spider-Man is in Brand New Day.
Spider-Man Brand New Day. My apologies.
Come on, you have to establish the differences.
Because we're going to be talking about a completely different Spider-Man, in that of Spider-Noir.
The Spider.
The Spider, as it were, yes.
I think we've become so accustomed to superheroes we know, but alternatives of them, that we don't even pause this for a minute. Mm-hmm. He's not called Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. He's called the Spider. He's not called Peter Parker. He's called Ben Reilly. Mm. He's not in a red suit. He's in a black suit. Mm-hmm. On and on and on about the differences for this new version of this character we know, and is just by far the traditional sense.
Well, it's because we're in the multiverse era.
Okay,
you know?
Well, definitely don't need to refer any multiversal.
But us in the real world, we're in this era of everything is a multiverse story, and we don't need to have everything be in a connected universe where, yes, you absolutely can have the likes of Nicolas Cage appearing as Spider-Noir in this series. Mm-hmm. And we understand, yes, that is Spider-Man. But no, Tom Holland doesn't grow up to be this version of Spider-Man. In the same way that we could have Ben Affleck being Batman, and we can also have Robert Pattinson playing the Batman. That we're in this moment, I suppose, in cinema where we can have these multiple versions of these established characters with ever so slight tweaks and differences, and we're not jumping through hoops to justify it or figure out exactly what's going on.
It's perfectly acceptable. It's fine. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
I just think that with the likes of... Here's something that maybe I can help you understand what I'm trying to communicate.
I get what you're saying.
Oh no!
Who are you trying to explain it to? I completely understand.
Something else I'm trying to say. Okay. Did you not hear the word "else" in that sentence?
Elseworld.
In addition, furthermore, did you notice in the Zack Snyder movies with the DCEU, it was called, but they rejected that. They referred to him as the day the world were introduced to the Superman, or you're the Batman. Do you know? Whereas it's like, because we've had movies or shows where these iterations of these characters, they were called Batman, they were called Superman. In this DCEU, we need to set an establishment that creates a barrier between my versions of these characters to the previous iteration. And so that's why, to firmly plant into the ground in cement and concrete that my versions of Batman and Superman are so different than the other versions, I'm going to throw the in the title. So, the Batman, the Superman, rather than Batman, Superman. So, like, another name, I suppose, it's a shit name, but it's just an example. They could have called this Spider-Noir as the Spider-Man or the Spider-Noir, as opposed to just...
Well, it's like how we differentiate the other Spider-Mans, in that we have the Amazing Spider-Man, the Spectacular Spider-Man, and your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man.
Yeah, I suppose so. But there's so many now, and it's not just with Spider-Man. There's so many other things now that we just are accustomed to. Oh, something now we never would have gotten 20 years ago.
No.
And
it was too confusing for people back then, in that, because we didn't have the language of the multiverse. It was just, you had Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man. Yeah. And that's it. You're not going to see another version of Spider-Man.
Have you ever heard someone, why are they getting this actor to play Joker now? The last man was great and he's dead now. So what are you doing?
It'd be like if there were multiple James Bond franchises going on, all being made by Amazon at the same time. It's just like, if you had done that 20 years ago, if you had a Pierce Brosnan Bond followed by a Daniel Craig Bond, followed by a Pierce Brosnan Bond, followed by a Daniel Craig Bond. It's like, what's going on here? Like, it just, you wouldn't be able to wrap your head around it. But now we're in a world where you can have these multiple versions of the same-ish character.
Yeah.
And it just makes sense. It's like people just wrap their head around it. It's like, oh yeah.
The only closest thing we could get to is having Robert Pattinson's Batman next to James Gunn's Batman.
Yeah, whoever that's going to be. Yeah, that's essentially because we did have Robert Pattinson's Batman against Ben Affleck's Batman.
Well,
he did. The Batman came out for 2022, and then Ben Affleck was playing Batman in The Flash. So like they were concurrent.
that's a fair point, but The Flash is a tricky one. It was meant to be released at the earliest 20...
Yeah, well, when it was intended to be released,
Yeah.
and when it was released, two different arguments.
Fair enough, fair point. What do you make of the fact that this little animated movie with new styles of animation from the guys who were fired from the Solo movie and who did Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, they created a Spider-Man movie. They made they produced and wrote Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, and it's not about Peter Parker, it's Miles Morales. And in one of their catalogue of characters they threw into a team together was Spider-Noir, voiced by Nicolas Cage. Who would have thought that 2018, 2026, 8 years. Who would have thought that 8 years later we would have our own live action Spider-Noir?
Not me. Definitely not. I thought absolutely that while he's a great addition to the Into the Spider-Verse cast, that was as far as we were going to get with him.
But did you not ever want to see more of him?
Oh, I did, absolutely.
Didn't you miss him in the second one?
I did. I noticed the fact that he wasn't there.
Yeah.
Until the very end.
Me too as well, because he had a silent cameo in there, but he's definitely shown up in the third one.
Yeah.
But I do like that they took the likeness of this Spider-Man who comes from the noir genre. He lives and breathes in the shadow. With the big, massive, goggly eyes and black suit and the detective hat, the overwearing coat. And he's a proper like detective, you know, even playing into the like norms of a seasoned veteran detective who lives a lonely life, seeking seeking to feel anything, even like lighting a match just to feel a burn, and it burns out and it doesn't feel anything. Like that's just like a gimmick, you know. But then they're not going to create a live action version of that character for this live action one here. Because, for example, the animated Spider-Noir, he fights Nazis. He's in the 1940s, 1950s. And obviously with his own flashback, it's of how he got his origin story, how he got bit by a spider. It's completely different to this here. And this is set in Prohibition era, the 1930s. And I dug it. I like that we have this isolated standalone version of this character that we can refer to. Oh, he's Spider-Man. He's like Spider-Noir from the Into the Spider-Verse movie, but it's a different version of.
Well, I would put it to how Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man is different than Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, in that they're both Peter Parker, and they both have very similar origins, in that they were both bitten by the spider, and they both lost their Uncle Ben. But they're just ever so slightly different. Yes, they're the same, but they're different. Their paths diverged in different ways because it's a different universe.
Yeah.
So it makes sense as to why they went Spider-Noir for this movie. And it's like, okay, yeah, people will... No, I'm talking about the movie. It's like, okay, yeah, people will recognize this character from the movie, so let's make a show. But we don't have to be beholden to the things that were said in that movie, because guess what? We've already established this Spider-Verse, this multiverse of characters, where you can have any amount of characters and they can all be quite similar, but they can be different. You can take, for example, Peter Parker Into the Spider-Verse and Peter B. Parker, where they were almost exactly the same, except guess what? One of them was blonde, and they had a slightly different trajectory of their lives.
One had nothing but good luck, and the other one didn't.
Exactly. So you can have Spider-Noir appear, and people will recognize him from the movie, but they aren't beholden to, okay, we have to follow exactly what's already been established. We can do our own thing. Now, the thing about Spider-Noir is, for me, I wasn't really anticipating it, because I have a real love-hate relationship with Sony and their Spider-Man movies, in that I love their animated movies the love-hate relationship is this, okay? I love to hate them. They have such a bad track record of movies that feature Spider-Man characters.
Yeah.
And characters that aren't Peter Parker, that I was apprehensive to it. That I was like,
Come on, David.
I just don't have faith. I don't have faith in Sony making individual live action projects. The animation, absolutely. You work away. I have no problem with that. I have complete and utter faith in whatever Phil Lord and Chris Miller are doing with Beyond the Spider-Verse. Okay, the 3 movies that they made. Mm-hmm. But when you take the likes of the Venom trilogy, Madam Web, Craven, Morbius, like, you've not given me a lot to aspire, or you've not given me a lot to hope for with Spider-Noir. So I was like, already, to be honest, I was like, okay, this is going to be half-arsed. This is going to be Spider-Noir in episode 1, no Spider-Noir, and then Spider-Noir in the last episode. And it was going to be not good. And how thankful am I that I was wrong.
You reminded me of the atrocities that Sony made.
You put them out of your mind.
Well, yeah, because I've forgotten all about them because of how bad they were. The entirety of my watching of Spider-Noir, I had no reminders, no preconceived connections.
Me neither.
But you're bringing it up now and you're making me think, oh yeah, I guess they are from the same banner of comic book characters under the Spider-Man banner from Sony, and they have a bad reputation. But like when the Spider-Man, when the Miles Morales Spider-Man movies come out, when this new one comes out in 2027, 2028, whenever the hell it comes out,
2040.
I'm not going to be thinking about the previous shite iterations of Spider-Man based characters. Just like here, I just had it in my head that, yes, this is going to be fun. It might not be great, but it will be good and it will be fun. And I thought it was a little bit more than good.
You know, I agree. There was one moment in it where I thought I knew where things were going, and I knew the level at which they were going to do things. I think it was in episode 1. It must have been in episode 1, where we're introduced to Flint Marko. And they say his name, and I went, oh, Sandman. Oh, he's just going to be a goon. That's great. Okay, yeah, I can see where we're going to have lots of characters who will eventually... Do you know what it was?
What?
I thought it was going to be like a Gotham, where we would have these characters who are the villains in name and name alone. That it would take seasons upon seasons for them to reach that ultimate Spider-Man villain status.
Yeah.
And how happy was I then that all of a sudden at the end of season, or at the end of episode 1, when he starts like turning to sand, and I was like, oh, hold on a minute. Okay, are you guys actually going to do it? Are you guys going to commit? And I was so glad that they committed to having not 1, not 2, but 3 Spider-Man villains, like Rogues Gallery villains. They also have Silvermane in there. Like, I recognize his name as being from the Rogue Gallery. They also kind of have Black Cat in there.
Yeah. Do you want another one?
Go on.
Man-Spider.
Yeah, actually, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, they've got Man-Spider. They also have Robbie as well. He's known to be part of the Daily Bugle.
Yeah.
They really actually committed to having a gallery of characters that all aren't just people around Nicolas Cage's Spider-Man.
They didn't create a character because they needed a character to make this role, and they just threw whatever whatever Jim Bob name to associate. They actually got characters from the comic books and threw them in there. Why they chose the likes of Sandman, Tombstone, or Megawatt as opposed to Vulture or someone akin to a Mysterio, or the likes of, I don't know, a Norman Osborn. Like now obviously the story would warrant those characters, but because this show is set in the Prohibition era, because it's essentially about mobsters who are the kind of Spider-Man Rogues Gallery characters who will come across as those fit that
role. Absolutely,
like Kingpin would be one.
Yeah, even as opposed to doing Silvermane. Yeah, Kingpin. I wonder were they less pushed to do that because of Kingpin being in the MCU at the moment?
Yeah.
Because of that, I wonder. Well, I was surprised as well. But that being said, actually, I'm gonna walk back what I said there, because Tombstone is introduced in this, and
we just saw him.
We just saw him last week. We talked about him last week in Brand New Day. But for a general audience who this has come out before, this is going to be the first introduction to a lot of people for Lonnie Lincoln, Tombstone. I originally thought we've Sandman, I thought when that character was introduced, I was like, okay, this is going to be someone, I didn't know who it was going to be. I thought we were going to get I thought that
Rhino's a good one.
That made sense to me, especially when his skin started to Harden. I was like, he's going to be Rhino.
But I thought that was like a Scorpion's kind of like shell.
Scorpion also could have absolutely, like, almost all of the characters were nearly, you could see them connected to animals in a way. Megawatt was just Electro, wasn't he? Like, I don't know if a character called Megawatt.
Megawatt does exist in the comics. I had to look this up.
Okay.
I don't know why they decided to. No, let's actually make him Megawatt as
Instead of
to,
Electro. Yeah,
like,
it seems strange.
Like, because in no way, shape, or form are these current characters, as they are in Spider-Noir, the same versions as we know them. Like, we all know Flint Marko to be a beloved villain turned anti-hero who we all feel for him because the bad things he's doing are for his family, for his daughter. Well, in this iteration, we still like him because the things he's doing is for the love of his life.
Yeah.
And we do like him. Tombstone he comes across as the muscle for a gangster, and he does play that here. But no, he's actually more than that. They introduce him as probably the most morally good-hearted person out of the lot of them. Whereas Megawatt, like, he's just a straightforward villain, but he plays into that role so well. It's like there's nothing redeemable about him. Like, he will commit murder because
he's the worst of all of them. Absolutely, yeah.
And
it's very strange. I don't know why they didn't just go with Electro. I don't know why they chose Megawatt in terms of, like, for brand recognition. Like, you kind of I would have gone Sandman, Electro, and Tombstone, and Tombstone is your one that people don't particularly know, especially because the fact that, like, they don't say his name until literally the last episode, his last confrontation.
Yeah, he
names himself Megawatt.
Yeah, because they're playing on words like, oh, the Mega Man, or I forget what names the Daily Bugle was trying to come up with, which is also in front of the thing as well that they did in the Tobey Maguire.
Yeah, trying to come up with headlines. Yeah,
and what to name these new so-called villains with superpowers, but like all these characters, we knew them by name recognition. We knew them by superpowers. We knew them by then their super villain names. But even though they were likable and they come from a background of good, and they're in a villainous role or an antagonistic role against Spider-Noir, they still remain in that realm of, no, this is the villain you want to keep around because he's not one to kill. He's not as evil as Venom. He's not as rageful as Kraven. Do you know? Like,
yeah, there's some level to this world as well where I'm not expecting to see a Venom. Like, Venom would be so, I don't know. Even though this is obviously a superhero show and it's a fantasy world, it feels much more grounded. Yeah. Even with the levels of the guy's powers, even Spider-Man's powers as well, it does feel very to this. I think the time period plays into it as well.
Yeah, it really does. Like, I'm not gonna expect higher profile villains like Doc Ock or Green Goblin to come into it because of their mobility capabilities.
I thought that when we found out that there was a doctor that the guys were all going to, Faber. Yeah, I thought that was going to be Octavius.
Yeah, really?
I thought that's where they would layer him in some way.
I like the idea that they'll keep it simple with the likes of Spider-Noir. Like, they kind of already had their fun with dipping their toes with having villains that could be tied to muscle for the mob. So like, you had your chance to throw Scorpion in there, you didn't. You had your chance to throw the likes of Rhino in there, you didn't. Like, even you could have made Megawatt Mr. Negative, you know? And like, but like, at the end of the day, like, Tombstone in this Spider-Noir is not Tombstone we know. The Tombstone we know is more akin to what we've seen him already in Brand New Day. Previous iterations is the Insomniac Spider-Man game 2, where he's already been reformed and he's a good guy. Like, seeing that alone, it's like, oh, Tombstone's the type of character who can turn his life around and make a decent living out of it, you know?
Like, you could absolutely, though, see in, like, if there's another season of this, you could see Norman Osborn as a businessman. Like, you could even see, like, I don't know why they didn't have, maybe it was Norman Osborn running against the mayor. In some kind of way there. Now, obviously, they didn't want to pack it full because this is the story they were telling.
Yeah.
You don't want to just packing people in for the sake of just people knowing the names.
Yeah.
But you could see the scope of it, that if they want to expand this in another season, they have a list of characters that they can absolutely pull from, and you can see how that iteration of those characters would fit into this world.
And the fact that they pulled someone like Megawatt out of their catalogs, like, who the hell would have known?
I know they named him Megawatt, but I'm just going to think of him as Electro, to be honest. There's no difference really between Electro and Megawatt. I've never heard of Megawatt, to be honest.
Neither have I, but there was once upon a time I never thought of Tombstone, and if he never called him Tombstone, who's to say he wasn't Rhino? Like that, got to give that point there.
Yeah.
Tombstone's now becoming more popular these days. The more we populate and dilute the higher profile rogues gallery of Spider-Man villains. But while we're on them now, like we've talked about them, I'd like to get it done and out of the way. I don't need to go by it by story beat, but just like the characters in general. First of all, Sandman is one of my favourite characters, one of my favourite Spider-Man villains. And I like the fact that likes of Jack Hudson played him. Jack Hudson was one of the main characters in Boardwalk Empire, a show about Prohibition era, and he just fitted so well. I really think he's a great actor. And I like that. Yes, him being Sandman is great. I like that to fit with the fact that this is set in like the 1930s. It's a black and white noir. It's as if it was filmed in the 1930s. They didn't go all out a big CGI monster of a Sandman.
No.
Like the sand on him is literally makeup effect on the day. Like he sits in the chair and they put makeup on him and they like maybe digitize it a bit. Like the closest thing we get is Spider-Noir smashing 2 vehicles against him and he just completely obliterates the sand. Like that's amazing. Like and then the one cool detail I thought that I hold you a little bit higher regard is when he's just sitting on his own and he's like moving the bullets inside his arm and he's pushing the bullets out, because
it's just a small scene that doesn't need to be there. It only just adds. It's a great one just to see like the manifestation of his powers.
Yeah.
And you're right, like a lot of it is just makeup, but it's the commitment to it. It's not like he's just always Flint Marko. He is consistently like this. The whole point about the whole show is that these powers are killing them, and the more they use them, the quicker they are going to die.
Yeah.
So that whole thing of like that it's on his cheek and it's slowly moving up and he becomes more and more sand each episode almost, that like the consequences of him using his powers in the episode before has had a knock-on effect of the episode now, and his whole forehead becomes sand again.
Yeah. And it's not as if he wears his iconic typical like green.
No, because that doesn't fit the style of the show.
No,
we're in Prohibition. Yeah, it's this is Sandman, yes, but it's not the Sandman that's fighting off against Toby with the green and the black.
No, but
shirt.
But they still keep it consistent. It's an alternative version. It's a similar version we would expect to see in the likes of a Miles Morales, Lord and Miller kind of movie. You know, like look how they did another alternate version of Vulture or Doc Ock. You know, it's good stuff. What did you make of then the likes of Lonnie Lincoln, which I gotta say, it's a cool name.
I like them. Again, he could have absolutely fit into the Rhino
or Scorpion. Like,
yeah,
but I think the superpowers he had were kind of based on the Scorpion, because there were a lot of insects in the testing experiments. You know, and like they had eels for electricity for the other man. In Noir's case, it was Spider.
It's hard, isn't it? Because like this is for us, we talked about him at length last week.
Was it at length?
We don't know, because we're recording this in June. But Spider-Man doesn't come out in July.
Of course it was at length.
I'm sure it was.
Of course it was. Sir, I heard they have big plans for him.
And so it's strange that even though in Brand New Day it's his debut of Tombstone
in a more traditional
sense, in that it's the big screen debut of him.
Yeah,
we've now been exposed to him a couple of months early in this TV show.
But we seen after, because we're recording about it now.
Well, yeah.
Same time. See, Tombstone's meant to be. He's very simple, isn't he? Like he's muscle for a mobster, but he's to humanize him. Like he's albino. All right, that it's like in appearance, it's like a disability, but he's literally made of the material from a tombstone. Hence the name. But I liked his ending here. I liked his whole story. Like he like these guys.
That he's apprehensive to join, and he doesn't want to. Yeah, he doesn't want to join, but when he does, he goes all in.
Yeah,
but he can still be reformed, like, because the guys give him the antidote, and then he's away.
And he immediately accepts it. Like as soon as he's human, then he immediately comes to Noir's defense.
Yeah, because he's seen that Noir was there to help him, because he cures him, and then the guys come in, the police come in and
not so tough now, are you?
No, they start to try and arrest him, but Noir pulls him off him. It's like, no, like this wasn't an attempt to like capture you or anything like that. I want to cure you. I want to help you.
Yeah.
And he sees that, and then that's when he starts helping Noir, and they fight together.
Yeah, I like
even after he's lost his powers.
Yeah, I like his relationship with Sandman. With Flint. Like it's a good establishment there, and not paired them. All these guys. Like,
well, it's interesting the fact that they connected them all, not just with their powers, but the fact that they were all in the army together. They were all prisoners of war together. So even though like they don't get on really with your man Megawatt.
No.
But there's some kind of a bond here by the fact that they all serve together.
Yeah, you take discerned with your man with the pyrokinesis, the fire guy. I don't even know who that's from.
No, I can't think of anyone off the top of my head that would be a pyro guy, but then they never give him a name.
Yeah, or is there a pyro man? I know there's an.
I think there is a pyro. No, that's the X-Man.
Yeah, but there is like a Hydro Man in the Spider-Man lore.
I'm sure there's someone in there. They didn't just.
Yeah, they didn't name.
Well, they could have, but yeah, they could have just made up a character with fire powers.
But another guy they did serve with who has well something, but it's not really superpowers. Is the guy Ogden? He's
the guy that aged up. Yeah.
That sickener to get stuck with that one.
I know. Yeah, one guy gets spider abilities, and the other one ages up to be older than his mom. Look at the draw.
Poor guy. But I like he got the happy ending. I thought they were going to only reserve the happy ending for Lonnie. And it would be Flint who would get the unceremonious or ceremonious sacrifice to die with his powers.
I thought so too. I knew that no matter what, Flint would turn because...
He would turn good.
He would turn good because at some point... your one, what was her name?
Cat Hardy.
Cat, yeah.
Black Cat.
Exactly, yeah, Cat Hardy. Because her name's Felicia Hardy in the...
Yeah.
Felicia Hardy, and so they just put Cat Hardy. But yeah, no, she would be threatened in some way by either Silvermane or one of the other guys. I was like...
Which was both.
Yeah, it was. And I knew that he was going to switch sides.
I just thought at that point it would be at the cost of his life.
So did I. I thought so too, yeah.
And I'm glad it didn't. I'm glad that he actually survives. Like, how many vials they got? They had like 5 needles and they're ready to use one for Tombstone. They tried to use one on Spider-Noir, but it was actually just Robbie Robinson underneath the costume, which was a fun gag, I have to say. It was a fun scene. And then 2 of them broke, and the last one was used for Sandman, which is great. But I thought in the final battle, to defeat Megawatt, this buffoon of a villain who should not be more powerful or challenging to fight in a duel than he is right now, they would give him the powers and the ejection, and he would lose his powers. Yeah. And in doing that, it would be Flint who would die because the powers kill him. But dude, talk about a guy who's an aspiring actor and he's evil for it, and he has a background in driving the subway train. I like how to defeat him. Back to the train you go. It was a good villain defeat, and I like it when a Spider-Man hero defeats the villain unintentionally with the intent that I say intent twice, without the intent to kill them deliberately. Like, he just got his webs and swing.
See, there was no part of me that didn't think that this Spider-Man did kill people.
Yeah, but that's never the thing. That's never a thing for Spider-Man. Spider-Man never kills people.
I felt like this one did.
Well, who?
Electro.
Megawatt. Well, it wasn't really intentional.
Well, what was he expecting him? What was he expecting?
Just pull him out of the way.
He flung him up towards the thing. Go back and watch it. Like, it's not like he was like, I'm going to throw him away and hopefully he doesn't come back. Like, he threw him up towards the thing. Like, and also when he squished Sandman between the 2 cars, it's like he doesn't know that he's going to turn completely into sand. Like, he could squish him. Like, there's a couple of things there that Noir is doing that he doesn't know these people will survive from. He's also like fighting random unpowered guys in the bar.
Yeah, like you're probably right. He actually is probably with great power comes careless use of his responsibilities.
Yeah, he's like, he became Spider-Man so late in his career. He didn't have an Uncle Ben to be inspired by, and this great power comes great responsibility.
Uncle Ben smashed a bottle over his head and said, "Get me another."
Yeah, he's a bad figure for that.
Yeah,
but I tell you what, I was really satisfied with Megawatt's death.
What?
Megawatt. I was really satisfied with his death because, oh my god, I was so annoyed by that character so much.
Were you really annoyed?
It was the theatrics of it all. I was like, oh my god, and I completely understand that was the point of the character, and all of the other characters around him were annoyed by him.
But he's also from that era.
Yeah, but he was so annoying.
But do you not think that's actually the actor doing very well to?
Oh no, I do.
Role?
Yeah,
but not to the point. Not to the point where he's playing this because you, David, have to hate him, but because this is how characters like him came across in this era of.
No, but he's the only one like that.
Well, I think it'd be a little.
He's a big theatrical guy, and I didn't like.
But I don't think if ever you say he's the only one like that. Well, yeah, I think if you have more than one like that, or if they were all like that, I think maybe that's a bit too much.
Yeah, but there's no one else even close to that level of theatrics.
But
what I'm talking about is the.
He makes an entrance.
He wants to be on Broadway, and he makes an entrance everywhere he goes. He's like, "Ladies and gentlemen," I'm like, "Oh, shut up, man! Like, just come in and be a villain. Like, stop being so theatrical about it." Like, and I completely understand that that's the character. I'm just annoyed by the character. So I don't think that he's bad for it. Mm-hmm. I just found that aspect of him annoying, and the actor did it well because he got me annoyed by him. You know, like everything that they intended to do, they did well. I was just annoyed by it. Like, I wouldn't say that it was a bad character.
Would you have changed it then?
Yeah, I wouldn't have had it be as theatric.
Okay.
But that's just me. You know, like, I'm not going to say that it was a bad character. I'm saying I found him annoying. Or I'm not saying that's an annoying character. I'm saying I found it annoying. In the same way that I wouldn't say, oh, that's a bad movie. I'd say I didn't enjoy that movie. You know? I'm not putting it on the character. I'm putting it on me.
Yeah, well, back to train he went. I wanted to dedicate some time to our good old Irish friend Brendan Gleeson.
Brendan Gleeson. Very Irish in this, wasn't he?
Yeah,
I feel like very Irish.
I'm not gonna lie, man. Like,
a little bit too Irish.
It was a little too Irish, wasn't it? Like, I feel like he's never had the opportunity to play Irish until now. And so he's like, I'm going all out. Like,
do you know who he kind of reminded me with his Irish accent? Conor McGregor. He spoke in such a way that he was really trying to enunciate things Irishly.
Yeah.
My forefathers.
I'm not even going to try it because I need a
No, I couldn't even do it.
I need a dialogue. I need a sentence to read off to kind of get it. Like, this will be an ecometrical matter.
Yeah, it's just it was too Irish, and it's very strange to say that actor did a really bad Irish accent, and it's an Irish actor.
It wasn't bad though. It was just too much.
Thick.
It was too theatrical. I thought, despite the Irish accent. I thought he was actually a great villain.
He was. I like a villain who doesn't have powers, but is still just as villainous.
Yeah, he's just as menacing. Like, he's squaring off against Megawat, who could easily just kill him from a distance. Yeah. No bother.
Found it interesting, the whole dynamic in terms of, like, that Spider-Noir wasn't consistently trying to take him down or anything like that. No. He was just kind of, like, existing almost.
Yeah.
Like, Ben Reilly was trying to get to the end of the story. He was trying to figure all this out. Not that there was much to figure out, but like, I don't know, it's like, it feels like Spider-Noir is like an accessory to the story as opposed to the main character of the story.
Oh, I kind of see where you're going with that, but first of all, I don't care.
No, me neither. That's not a criticism.
Yeah, and secondly, like, he is investigating the story as a PI, as a dick, as they refer to, of the missing Sandman, which leads to supernatural beings, and it digs deeper. And while he's doing that, we have Silvermane over here doing his own thing, recruiting. And because of the two dualities of Spider-Noir and Ben Reilly, like, those two characters cross paths with Silvermane. I understand how Spider-Noir can feel like not as an active leading character, but I think that's kind of saved by Ben Reilly being a private investigator, doing a bit of detecting, because, like, how often do we really see Spider-Noir in the costume? We get an awful lot of Nick Cage as Ben Reilly. Yeah, like, we got more than what I was initially expecting. Now, my expectations were, like I said, I'm going in with poor expectations because of Sony's. You thought the whole season was going to be an origin story. Yeah, well, like, there's this concept, I suppose. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's called the Surf Dracula. Have you ever heard of Surf Dracula? No, I haven't. So, Surf Dracula is a fake show from the 80s, okay, where every episode, Dracula would go out and surf, and he would, do his thing every day, and it'd be story of the week, right? But the current Surf Dracula, the reboot series, is called Surf Dracula, and the first 9 episodes of the 10-season show is Dracula working his way up to surfing. And in the last 5 minutes of Surf Dracula season 1 episode 10, finally Dracula surfs. And it's been this whole build up to the thing that
in the original show he was doing all the time. Do you know what I mean? That kind of concept.
Making a prequel out of what we already know the character.
Yeah, it's just kind of like you're trying to reboot this thing, and you're not doing what everyone liked about it in the first place. And that's the Surf Dracula of it all. So I thought, yes, this was going to be a Surf Dracula where Spider-Noir opening 5 minutes, and then he hangs up the suit, and he's no longer Spider-Noir for the next 8 episodes, and then in episode 9 or 10, whatever it is, the last episode, he dons the suit again. I 100% thought that's what it was going to be. But we got more of that. We got way more than I thought because I was expecting so little.
Well, first of all, remind me to go back to that Surf Dracula. But
Just go now. Just do it now.
Well, is it real? Is there a show where Dracula surfs?
No, it's an example. But I'm like, I have to look up examples of reboots.
Well, I'm not. I don't need you to refer to them as reboots, but like I understand where you're coming from. Like the 3 dog shit movies that Sony did between Madam Web, Morbius, and Craven. Mm-hmm. They are all origin story movies. Like, yes, they are already established characters, and like they are who they are. Mm-hmm. But it's not until the very end they become the titular Madam Web, the titular Morbius the Living Vampire, titular Craven the Hunter in their iconic clothing and whatnot. Mm-hmm. But in Spider-Noir, not only has Ben Reilly been the Spider for how many years, he's hung up the suit and he's been retired as Spider-Noir for a few more years. Mm-hmm. And it's in like the latter stage of his life where he comes back out of the darkness into the spotlight as the superhero, once again saving the day. Do you know? Mm-hmm. Like, it's kind of like if the Powerpuff Girls had a new show and it was about them stepping out of their retirement as the hero saving the city of Townsville, and they as adults become superheroes once again later in lives, because once they grew up from children to preteens, they gave it up. That was the live action version CW was going to do anyway. But yeah, I get where you're coming from.
I'm sorry, I was looking up some examples.
I know
of
you're
Surf
you're giving a couple of. It's like,
no, but yeah, I know.
You're just waiting for me to finish so you can say her a bit.
No, I was listening to what you were saying about the Powerpuff Girls, and I was looking up Surf Draculas. Some examples very quickly of some Surf Draculas. Dr. Eggman in the Sonic the Hedgehog movies.
I suppose
then over the course of the movies, he slowly becomes more Eggman-y.
That's a good point. I would have mostly just settled with the first movie because Eggman, like, bald and mustache, he's like that at the very end of the first movie. So in the third movie, like they bloated him up, they made him large. The stranger in the Rings of Power. Oh, that character is slowly becoming the character who they're. Well, that's not a criticism. That's not.
It's a central mystery, and then
it's central mystery. But like, it's like I don't want them to blatantly say this man right here is Gandalf. I don't want them to do that. Like, I'd rather them not do that. Like, and with the Sonic stuff, like, maybe I think what they've done now, because of the success rate they've had with making Jim Carrey into Eggman as we know him in the games, taking 3 movies to do that. Yeah, but now we are there, and we've had such a good progression of it, and we've more to come. So, like, I don't think it's a problem. And what's the third one? What's the third option? The third Surf Dracula.
I know exactly the perfect Surf Dracula, and it's not. I wasn't even looking it up here. The perfect Surf Dracula, Jimmy Rings in Halo, is Surf Dracula. We spend 2 seasons of the show building up to what it should be, and then we never got it. Jimmy Rings is a Surf Dracula. The whole show should be where season 2 ended, and we spent 2 seasons building up to it. That's a Surf Dracula. It's like, this is what it should have been from the get-go, guys. Come on. That's a Surf Dracula. That's my third Surf Dracula, sir. Now, moving on from Surf Dracula, because it's not a real show, I want to talk about a TV show I watched called Spider-Noir.
We have been for the last 40 minutes.
I know, and I want to get back to it. I want to move away slightly from characters for a moment to talk about the aesthetic of the show and just how impressed I was with the cinematography, with the camera work, with the effects, with the lighting. Like, we watched this in black and white
because we're true fans.
I watched one of the episodes in colour.
That's a good experiment I consider doing. Which one did you watch it?
Well, I watched it all in black and white, except for the second to last episode. I watched that episode in color.
No way, pal. If there was an episode I was going to watch in color, I was like, maybe that one would have been a good option to watch in color. I don't know why.
Well, I have to tell you,
Yes.
looked fantastic.
The color?
Yeah, like I genuinely will go back and watch it in color because it was shot in Technicolor. It meant that it was so vivid. It was so saturated, all the color. I was like, whoa.
I'm not gonna lie. I think the saturation of the color, the true hue, is a bit of a turn off.
I would have said the same thing, but it has definitely made me think that if I go back to watch it, I will 100% watch it in the Technicolor. Because because the black and white fits so perfectly to the style of story it was,
Yes.
and the aesthetic and the characters, it fit that all so perfectly.
The setting of where the show was based on, and the time period, and the character of Spider-Noir himself.
And I think it really added as well to some of the effects. Like with Spider-Man's webs, I was like, I don't know why, but they feel like they're not like a white or a silver web. I felt like they were brown or something like that.
Yeah.
Like I was nearly I was imagining myself what these colours would be. And so then
I kind of thought it was black.
Yeah,
Or navy.
It's a darker look to it, all right. And then when I watched that one episode in colour, and then I saw all these colours that I've been seeing, like locations that I've been seeing the whole time in black and white, I was like, I was not expecting it to look like this.
Yeah, I think there's one scene where he's you think he's wearing a black suit the whole time, but no, like actually this is a brown coat he's wearing.
And your man who plays Robbie as well, is wearing like these really colourful pink suits, and they look lovely. Like it genuinely looks great. That I'm like, I need to go back and watch this just to see it with a new set of eyes. Even though it's the same story and I would know exactly what's going to happen, I feel like I'd be watching a new story because I get to see it in colour.
Yeah, no, I will watch it in colour just to see the difference. Like people say, oh man, you have to watch Logan in black and white. It's like, nah pal, I'm good. But this is tied to how this show should be appeared.
Yeah.
So I will watch it in colour one day, just not anytime soon.
No, if you're going back to watch it, then you'll watch in that, or you'll watch clips of it in colour.
Yeah, but look, obviously, no, come on. I think this has a budget. I think.
Well, yeah, it does, because even when it got to the few and far between scenes of like Spider-Man swinging, or some of the fights or anything like that, I'm like, this looks good. I don't know if it was maybe the black and white is hiding maybe some of the issues or something like that.
It does hide it.
It's possible, but I was impressed with it. Like Spider-Man swinging actually looked really good.
Yeah, no, it did. Now, obviously, it was CGI for a lot of it.
That's fine.
But I like the flexibility of it. I would have liked maybe something a little bit more. Do you know when he's kind of twitching in the hallway in the gown? He's just escaped from the room, and he's like he's placing his hands on the walls. I would have liked to see Nicolas Cage actually walk on the wall, not on the ceiling or anything, just on the wall for a bit. You know, it's like kind of like do it nonchalantly, like it's him doing it as if he's literally walking with his own 2 feet.
Yeah, it's second nature. Like he doesn't know the difference between a wall and a floor.
But he just wouldn't normally do it anyway. Because he's losing his mind a little bit because he's twitching, he's getting the urge. You know, he can't really maintain it sometimes. But yeah, the fighting I thought was great. Like the use of his webs in combat, hand-to-hand combat, I thought it's so good. It's also perfect for like a show you'd expect to be filmed in the black and white era. Do you know, it's not cinematic.
No,
but it is filmic. That's one way to put it. It's filmic.
Well, there's so many like just camera techniques that they use, like having Dutch angles.
Dutch angles really sell it.
The split diopter shots, and you know where they have like one thing in the foreground, it's ever so slightly blurry, and then something in the background, but they're both in focus. A split diopter shot. Yeah.
Thanks,
they
Quentin
look
Tarantino.
so good.
They are great.
There's also just a lot of like close-ups and just stuff that felt like really with the language of cinema and the genre that we're in.
The noir genre, like whether it's you see you see Cat Hardy's face like on the left side of the screen, and you see a mirror in the background on the right hand side,
and in the reflection you're seeing who she's talking to.
Yeah, I like those kind of things. And then there's one close up shot of Ben Reilly walking up, wearing the hat and the suit. His detective suit, not the Spider-Noir suit, and it's like a close-up shot of his eyes, and like he's completely blackened out, bar his eyes, like perfect, like film noir appearance. The whole aesthetic really fits into it. Like the guys knew how to film noir.
Yeah, well, the fact that this is Spider-Noir, this wasn't just so this character is a detective. It's like, no, we're going to tell a whole detective story. Like you take out the super human aspect of this.
Yeah.
Like you just slightly retool this so they don't have superpowers.
Yeah, it's a missing person mystery,
Yeah.
and then followed by a discovery that the prisoners of war were experimented on, and they now have a disease that's killing them, and they just so happen to work for the mobster.
Yeah. You take out the superheroes, you take out the superpowers, and it works just as well as
does. Obviously, the superpower abilities and the fact that the connection, the tie-ins to that of Spider-Man.
Of course, yeah,
it
that has to be
propels
there.
it.
Yeah, but you take those elements out, and this is treated just fully as, well, it's a noir story then.
Yeah.
Regardless of it being a super noir, it's just a noir.
And you know, it starts off with him trying to find out where Flint Marco has gone to, but like, that's resolved in like episode 3 or 4.
Yeah.
You
I mean, it doesn't, it starts out with figuring out what's going on with Kat.
Yeah.
And then it slowly becomes that where, yeah, we're trying to find out what happened to Marco. And then it just slowly, the noir, the mystery of that kind of goes away. Mm-hmm. And instead, the superhero aspects takes form. But it doesn't drop the characteristics of being a noir and those elements that make it a noir.
And you know, he was quick enough to abandon the whole thing altogether for the name of love. Like
he was. I mean, yeah, he doesn't like. That was one thing as well about Ben Reilly is and it was a line that he said to your man Ogden. It's like, oh, I was never the Spider to be a hero. I was doing it for the thrill. And I thought he was saying that to just kind of
get him out of his way because he wants to leave.
But that doesn't seem to be the case. That actually is something that they play a little bit later on, is that no, he didn't actually want to be the hero. He was doing it for the thrill. And so when he was ready to drop it all for Kat, I believed it because I was like, yeah, he doesn't want to be here. He's lost the love of his life. He's given up being the Spider. He's only doing it now because he kind of has to do it. Like, he was doing it for the thrill. He genuinely was. He wasn't doing it for the betterment of being a hero.
Doing it to protect his alias, B. Riley, and his secretary. Like, he was doing it to protect them because Silvermane's goons were going after them, you know? And, like, first of all, I'll say this before I forget. He said, I wasn't always Ben Riley. He changed his name. I'd imagine if his name was actually Peter Parker.
I would assume so. Sure, Ben Reilly in the comics is a clone of Peter Parker.
Yeah, but I like the idea that, no, we're further establishing the disconnect between this Spider-Noir and the Spider-Noir we have in Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
And then further separating the fact that it's not Spider-Man as traditional as we know him. So we're naming him Ben Reilly. So Ben Reilly is a name we recognise. It's also staying within the sandbox of Spider-Man as a character. But he was ready, he was having a bonus day ready for his secretary. He's ready to give up his life in New York and go on out in his merry way. Little did he realise that Kat already found a way to save Flint, which would betray Ben. And that episode in itself, where he's pretty much held as a prisoner against his will, things I don't like to see. So I'm happy it didn't last too long. That was the second last episode. I think it was anyway. Was it?
It was the third last episode. Yeah. Because then after that, he realizes he's been betrayed, gets drunk, beats up a load of guys in the bar just for the thrill of it. Like, he's sitting in the bar with his face on display. The guys recognize him. Yeah. He goes back. He walks out, puts on the spider mask, and then walks back in and starts beating them up. It's like, they're not dumb. Like, come on.
Yeah.
They're going to put one and one together and get two.
This is the equivalent of the passengers on the subway train in Spider-Man 2 who see Tobey Maguire's face.
Yeah.
We should talk about the movies maybe one day.
I would talk about the Spider-Man movies, yeah.
Yeah, one day. Just because that scene alone, it's class.
I would get them. I would talk about those Spider-Man movies on one condition.
What?
We have to have a pizza while we're doing it.
Yeah, I missed our pizza on that one, didn't we?
Yeah, we watched that.
Watch it?
Me and my other friends, not including Brian, we decided to watch Spider-Man 2.
What do you mean your other friends?
Our other friends.
Hey, you know, I've got other friends too.
Yeah, I'm sure you do, but we all sat down, we watched Spider-Man 2, because I literally saw an image of someone watching Spider-Man 2 with a pizza, and it was just like the perfect pepperoni pizza, and I went, yeah, that fucking rules. And I was like, all to all my friends, I was like, does anyone want to watch Spider-Man 2 and get pizza? And everyone was like, yeah, except for Brian. Brian was like, no. So he didn't join us.
Because I was working.
Yeah, well.
You chose the day I was working. Well, I'll tell you this. I'll watch Spider-Man 2 primarily with you, and we record it while eating pizza.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Well, why don't we watch it with pizza and record it with pizza? Let's get 2 pizzas.
Yeah,
fuck it.
We're already doing something else with recording where we're not going to
We'll see what that is. Ooh, who knows?
Can you guess what that is?
No, you won't. Trust me, you will not guess what that is.
Maybe they will.
They will not.
Do you want to give a tease?
No.
Do you want to do
No.
even the numerical
No.
episode? No? Okay. Yeah, like, I mean, they did a good job.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they won. And do you know what? They won in such a way that I don't need a season 2.
You're right. I don't need a season 2. I'd happily welcome a season 2.
So would I.
And the only thing that would indicate to me that there won't be a season 2 is the fact that, and I every time they do this, and it's these streaming services, and I gotta shake my finger at them, wag my finger, stop dropping all 8 episodes at the same time. You won't have people talking about your show if all of the episodes come out at the same time, because guess what? They all come out, and the next day someone goes, "Oh, you watching Spider-Noir?" "Yeah, I've watched 4 episodes." "Oh, I've only watched 2. "Oh, I can't remember what happened in the first 2 episodes. I don't want to spoil anything. We just won't talk about it." If you release it 1 episode at a time, guess what? You have 8 weeks of people talking about your show. I don't know why they did it, especially when they do it with something like The Boys or Invincible. I think they probably do it the best way, that they release the first 3 episodes and then it's week to week to week. And that way you can kind of continue the conversation each week. Whereas with Spider-Man or Spider-Noir, I haven't seen anyone talking about it. And that, when you release all episodes at the same time, unfortunately, that kind of, to me, feels as though, yeah, we don't really have faith in it. Here you go. Take it all.
There is one outstanding contradiction there to that to throw against your ammunition.
Sure.
Fallout.
See, yeah, I don't... What does Fallout do? Does Fallout do all 8 episodes?
Fallout released the first season, all 8 episodes. Season 2 was the first 3 episodes, and then week to week. Like The Boys.
Yeah. Well, then, I don't know what they're doing then. Yeah, I suppose that absolutely is ammunition against my argument, but it also is ammunition towards my argument where they did it all, and maybe the first season worked out in their favor where people did enjoy it, and so for the second season they decided to do it in their traditional model.
Yeah.
Because if the original model of releasing all 8 episodes worked, why didn't they do that for season 2?
I don't know.
Because they wanted to build the hype. They wanted people talking about it for longer.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, I would be surprised if they get a season 2 and they still release all 8 episodes.
So will I.
But
I'll happily welcome a season 2.
Oh, absolutely.
100%.
Even though I'm saying I don't want this to be crossed over with anything else, like, I don't want even the fact that Ben Reilly said in his opening monologue, they say...
Someone asked me what universe I'm in. I don't know.
Yeah, so, like, that's as close as multiverse connection will get.
Yeah.
But,
and to be honest, yeah, didn't even need it.
Didn't need it. But I think it's an acknowledgement that the first time you saw a character like me was in
Somewhere
this
else,
movie.
yeah.
However, if we get a scene between Nicolas Cage, Spider-Noir, as we know him from Into the Spider-Verse, in Beyond the Spider-Verse, at a dinner table next to a live-action Nicolas Cage from this, and it's literally a quick back and forth scene between Nick Cage against Nicolas Cage, and the animated noir is interrupted because he's got to go join the rest of the gang to save the day. Something similar to what they did with
Spot
and Mrs. Chang. Like, if they just do a quick gag like that, or something similar to Donald Glover as the Prowler. Like, just a quick...
acknowledgement almost, yeah.
And it's in black and white, the two of them. It's literally the two of them getting together, having a dinner like once a year. And
maybe even like Spider-Noir going to try and recruit him or something like that, and he's sitting in the chair and Ben Reilly's like, no.
Yeah,
like he refuses to join.
Yeah, and like he's a drunk having a shandy. Like it's
I'm the Spider. Like he's drunk and he's like, yeah, this guy's not worth it.
I would welcome that. Now, can we talk about the man himself,
Benjamin Reilly,
Nicolas Cage? Right,
he's the perfect weirdo, isn't he?
Only Nicolas Cage can do Nicolas Cage as Nicolas Cage.
Yeah,
there is no one else like Nicolas Cage, and you know what? For the longest time now in our generation, we grew up with him, right? He was in such a flock of bad movies and B-level movies just to get himself out of debt. And now, right, like I'm going to have to waffle on here while I find his filmography and get it in order. Because there came a point where Nicolas Cage started doing certain movies that put him back in the spotlight, where he became onto a caricature in himself, kind of like the best version that can happen to an actor, unlike the likes of Ryan Reynolds or Dwayne Johnson or Kevin Hart or Jason Statham, where they just become boring, monotonous, the same old character in every movie, whereas Nicolas Cage can do Nicolas Cage as you know him, but he's so wildly different in everything else. So what I'm about to do is I'm going to do Earliest, and what I have here, right? Let's go backwards. Let's see what he has coming up, right? He's got obviously the Noir. He's doing a sequel to Longlegs, so he did Longlegs. He's playing Madden, where he's under a lot of prosthetics. Doing a sequel to Lord of War, and then as we continue downwards, he's done Dream Scenario. He's done Renfield. He's done Pig. He's done Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. He did his thing on Netflix, A History of Swear Words, which kind of attributed to him being, we gotta get Nicolas Cage to do this because only Nicolas Cage can do this. And then, like, obviously we get into the schlock where he's in a load of bullshit for the sake of getting a paycheck because he really needed the money.
I'm going to name 3 in that time.
Yeah, go on.
There's Wally's Wonderful World, or something like that.
Yeah.
Mandy
is a great one, though.
Left Behind.
Left Behind with John Cusack.
No,
it's something else.
No, there's another one called Left Behind.
Right.
There's another one. Is it the Humanity Bureau?
I'm not too sure. But like I think this is at the tail end of his popularity as the likes of Ghost Rider. Because before that,
Ghost Rider 2, yeah.
But like,
That's funny, actually, that Nicolas Cage has got to play 2 Marvel heroes as well.
Oh, sure.
Like, he joins the alum of the likes of Michael B. Jordan and Chris Evans, and I'm sure lots of other people as well.
Yeah.
But he's now got two Marvel
titular roles.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like he's now he's an 80s action star. He's a 90s action star.
He's in the 90s, yeah. I put him 90s rather than 80s.
I'm sure he's done a few things in the 80s. But like, think about it.
Oh, he's Kick-Ass as well. Don't forget that. He was Big Dad.
That's
Big
another
Daddy.
one. So like, this man's had a career. But now he's become something unto himself where, how can I best describe it?
And don't forget as well, he was almost Superman. He
Almost
was Superman in The Flash.
Yeah, so there you go, it's another superhero. Nicolas Cage is always going to be a welcomed sight to have. I think after The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, where he even has a younger version, de-aged, where he calls himself Nicky. If people didn't reject that, I think we're never going to get enough.
Yeah, he's the type of actor that if you said, would you rather have Nicolas Cage in this or not? I go, yeah, sure, put him in it. You know, like, I wouldn't ever turn him down.
But I think it's getting to the point where you're going to get something from Nicolas Cage. Like, there's even chat about Nicolas Cage being the titular A-lister actor in the new True Detective season.
Oh, yeah, that'd be good.
It would be fantastic. Like, screw all the likes of Brad Pitt or Johnny Depp or Tom Cruise or all those massive A-listers.
You know what he needs?
Get Nicolas Cage.
There's a certain level of fame, I think, where actors, they kind of come out of the public spotlight for a while and then they come back and it's a big Oscar run.
Yeah.
The main one I would have an example would be Brendan Fraser.
He's a good recent popular one, yeah.
I think Nicolas Cage, I could see that happening for him. Now, he'd have to go away for a couple of years.
Yeah, he's been back now for a while.
Yeah.
Like, he's already done, like...
He's nearly already done that. Dream Scenario was kind of that one for him.
So was Pig.
And Pig.
I never seen it, but he honestly, man, he really was going for something with Longlegs.
And he was great in Longlegs. I still think that Longlegs is one of the scariest movies I've ever seen. And that's not even his performance. It's some of the other stuff in there, but he gives a great performance as well. I don't think that he's at a level where he will do that. Because I think he's so consistent with his stuff that he's putting stuff out on the regular.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to go away and come back for a big Oscars push. I think that he could get something that's just so good that he brings such a stellar performance to it that he could get some big award season.
Yeah, like he just needs to get something good, doesn't he? Like he really does. But just keep him coming, keep him rolling out.
Yeah.
Like, think about it, David. We got Nicolas Cage playing a live action Spider-Noir.
Yeah.
Like,
you couldn't have said that literally 10 years ago. There's just no way. You'd be like, okay, yeah, sure.
Like, when else are we going to get something like this existing?
No.
Like, it's brilliant, man.
Few and far between.
It's honestly brilliant. You know what? If you want to like hunker down into the Nicolas Cageism for a season 2, get in John Travolta and have him play a villain opposite. Like, if they do it well, they can make it work.
Yeah,
they really could. Like, honestly,
Norman Osborn.
A Norman Osborn, yeah, absolutely.
Although, yeah, I could see him play like an Al Capone type, that, because it is in that Prohibition. But I think I have heard that if they have plans for season 2, it is to move into that war, that Nazi kind of.
Yeah, where he's fighting off
version.
Nazis. No, fair enough. It's a good point. Like, it's the 1930s, so like who's to say it's not? I don't recall what year they said it's set at, but like, who's to say it's not at the latter 30s? Like the Nazis.
And absolutely, like, come here, if they wanted to. If they were really like, we're going to push things out there, could do some Hydra. could do some Red Skull. I don't think they will, but they could.
Yeah, they could.
There's a possibility.
But, like, honestly, here's one example, right? I'm sure it's a gif by now where he's after beating up all the lads in the bar. He's lifted off his mask, I think, and your man's getting ready to pour him another drink, and he goes, ha, ha, ha! For those who don't know, I'm after clapping my hands, I'm after snapping my fingers, and I'm after pointing really ferociously at the bartender, who, in this case, is David. Like, I could literally play the trailer and show it to you.
Yeah, I know it. Yeah, I know it. There's just certain Nicolas Cage-isms.
Yeah, but...
Like, do you know the scene when he's first bitten by the man spider? Yeah. And he's sitting in the tent, and the other guys come in, and he's like trying to hold his hands so that he won't move, and he's like and he's like jumping about the place, and he's like moving his arms and stuff like that. And it's like, that's just Nicolas Cage. Like, he's not acting there. Like, I just feel like he is that kind of that erraticness to him.
That's a good way to describe it. He's like that's just Nicolas Cage. You know now who you're after. So I'm after listing the type of actors who are always the same for the wrong reasons. Like Dwayne Johnson, Ryan Reynolds, Jason Statham, and Kevin Hart. Yeah. They all each have like one character they've played. It was like, you were good, I liked you in that. Yeah. It's just a shame you keep playing that in everything else.
Yeah, same character, different font.
But with Nicolas Cage, like we've now talked on about it, of how he can bring his energy, but still place it into a completely different character altogether, making it a different character. Another actor now you've after making me think of, who's also good at that kind of thing, is Keanu Reeves. Yeah. I think Keanu Reeves is very good at that kind of thing. Like, he can play the charming, good-looking dude. He can also play the action killer who can...
Another person that's like that is Jim Carrey for me.
Yeah.
Like, when I think of Harry from Dumb and Dumber. Yeah. And Ace Ventura and Bruce Almighty and Dr. Robotnik. Like, they're all completely different characters, but Jim Carrey brings such an energy to him. And Robin Williams as well. Like, Robin Williams, no matter what, whether he's playing a happy-go-lucky role or a sad role, he's bringing some level of energy to it that's just purely Robin Williams.
I think we'll have to list some of our favourite actors.
I think so. Yeah. Thanks for joining us for this bonus episode.
Great TikTok. But yeah, it's a great show. Nicolas Cage couldn't have happened to a better guy. I'm glad that a few hours on a day recording a few lines gave him a big paycheck for this. Like, couldn't have happened to a better guy. And I'm looking forward to him. I don't need him to be on the spotlight in the Beyond the Spider-Verse movie. I would like him to be propelled into more of a character with a few jokes to say and leave it at that.
I wouldn't mind if there was nearly two teams of our team, and he's on the B team, but he's like maybe the second leader of the B team.
Yeah,
like, he's a big part
honestly,
of that.
Yeah, second leader. But like, I don't want the likes of Pavati, Peter, Spider-Man India, or Hobie to take up the screen time of where Spider-Noir can take that, because like, it just depends on who you like. It's preference, because the two teams from both movies has now merged together. Like, Spider-Ham's coming back. Yeah.
I don't know. I think I would rather Spider-Punk take a bigger role in Beyond the Spider-Verse. Sure, only because we've got now Spider-Noir, the TV show, and I completely understand that it's not the same character. Yeah, but they're so close that
very close.
You know, I feel like I've gotten my fix for that character specifically. So I would like more Spider-Punk.
Can you think of something to talk about while I look something up?
Well, are we close to wrapping it up? Because I can start the wrap up, and it can be your final word on.
Well, it's not so much of a final word, but it is something I want to bring up. I think it's in contribution to our chat. So our friend Evan said in his review of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse in March 9th, 2019, I demand a standalone Nicolas Cage spin-off as him being Noir Spider-Man. Here it is right here.
You should tell him that. Maybe he should listen to this episode.
Maybe he should listen to this.
I bet he didn't.
I don't think he didn't, but if he listens to this, that's him, right? Evan Sean K.
Yeah, that's him.
I asked him that the other night, and I wanted to see, does he remember he left this little review? Because
and did he remember?
No, he didn't.
No,
because I watched like maybe the clips of it, and it didn't look good. I was like, really? You don't remember the little review you left for the movie where we got our first introduction of him? So, I mean, like, talk about a guy who got what he wanted and didn't even remember.
I know. What a prick.
What a careless, selfish attitude. You know.
And you know what's funny?
What's funny?
We had a Yu-Gi-Oh duel back in July that hasn't happened yet, but I am so confident in saying that he lost both of those, and now he can't vape, and he has a shaved head because he lost both of them. I'm so confident saying that. It's like, I can't believe that he went into that thinking that he would win because he lost.
It's crazy, David.
I'm not even jinxing it.
I've not experienced that yet. So now
I know, yeah.
But
when you listen to this episode, you'll know because he'll have a shaved head and he won't be able to vape.
It kind of goes back to my belief that you can time travel, but you will have timed travel. Mm-hmm. There's my motto for the day.
That's your motto for the day.
Yeah, a good existential crisis going on over here, David. But yeah, Spider-Noir, great. Good chat.
Good chat.
Good chat to end the August month.
I was going to say, thank you, Brian, so much for indulging me in doing the Marvel August and being able to talk about Punisher, Daredevil, Spider-Man, and Spider-Noir. It was a lot of fun, and we got to do it out of time. So, because of the fact... out of order, out of time, the fact that we were able to pre-record so many of these, and we've essentially given ourselves August as a summer vacation, because we haven't done any recording in the actual month of August.
Oh, we could.
No, we won't, because some of us need a vacation.
Do we?
Okay? Yeah, we do. What's the point in pre-recording all these things to not give ourselves a little break every now and again?
Because we're giving release dates to these recordings.
Yeah, but come on. Let's take a 2-week break from recording at least. 2 or 3 week.
2.
Maybe a month, considering we have the whole of August done.
Nah, 2 weeks.
Brian, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure you're subscribed to us on your favorite podcasting app of choice. We've new episodes every single Wednesday, so make sure you're subscribed to never miss an episode. Like I said, follow us on all of our social medias. They're down in the links in the description down below. We also have another podcast, which is Saturday Morning Cartoon Club. So if you haven't already, make sure you're subscribed to us there for new episodes on the last Saturday of every single month. This podcast is brought to you by Another Happy Studios, so make sure to check out all of the other podcasts in our network. Those can be found at anotherhappystudios.com, or they can be found on the Another Happy Studios YouTube channel. That's all from us here at Talking Pictures. Brian, any final words before we let these people go?
Is that all you got? You gonna fight, or you're just bumping gums, you hard-boiled turtle slapper?
Let me guess. Is that from Spider-Noir?
It's from Spider-Noir, the character from the animation.
You can't be doing that, man. Different characters. Come on.
I just think it's a cool line before he...
It is.
Before he wed the car down to Tombstone, smashing him.
It is.
It's good callback.
Thanks, Brian.
Thanks, David.